So good morning dear students. Today we will discuss about very important topic, that is about two forces, centripetal and centrifugal force. So what is centripetal and centrifugal force? Now force, we have already known that is the physical cause which changes or tends to change, that is which can take an attempt to change either in its state of rest or in motion of any object. When a body is at rest, if we want to see it in motion, we need to apply force. But a body which is already in motion, if we want to stop it or if we want to change its direction, we also need to apply some force. We already know about the rectilinear motion or translation motion of any object. But it is not mandatory that every body or each particle will continue maintain its translational or linear motion. It can take turn, that is when we travel, a road doesn't remain forever for straight, it has some U-turn, it has some left turn towards the right side. We need to change, we need to change the direction. So when a body is already in motion and executing any translation or linear motion, that is along straight line, and if it want to take some turn, that is maybe in the circular way, in the left or right, it obviously needs some force. That force is called centripetal force. Petal means, so centri or centri means it is related to central, and obviously when it is central, it is about circular motion. Petal means towards. Okay, so a force which always acts towards the centra along the radius, that is radially inward direction toward the centra, and rotates a body in a circular path, it is called centripetal force. So we can say under the centripetal force, any object moves in a circular path, or to move a object in a circular path, centripetal force is required, that is mandatory. Clear? There are so many examples of centripetal forces. That is the rotation, that is the motion of a stone in a circular path. Okay, that is when we tie a stone with a string and other end with our finger, and when we rotate it, that is a centripetal force. Under the centripetal force, it's moved. Obviously, the motion of earth around the sun, the motion of moon around the earth, that is the motion of all the planets, okay, around the sun or any fixed star. Obviously, when we take turn, when we take U-turn or take a curve while riding cycle, bicycle or motorcycle or any vehicle or car, when we take a turn left side or right side, it requires centripetal force. Clear? But the one question arises that what does it come from? Where is its source? As we all know that on this planet, you cannot get anything free of cost. It means you cannot get any output without any input. It is not possible. It doesn't happen on our planet. So, where does this centripetal force comes from? Obviously, if you think minutely or very carefully, you will be able to find that source, the origin. That is, as I have told, that is the earth rotates around the sun due to centripetal force, as well as moon around the earth. So where does it get the required centripetal force? We all know that each and every two objects on this universe attracts each other, which is called gravitational force, and this is always attractive force. So the required gravitational force between the sun and the earth provides the necessary centripetal force for the earth to rotate around the sun in a circular path. The gravitational force between earth and moon provides the necessary centripetal force for the moon to rotate around the earth. Obviously, then the next question is, where does a stone rotating in a circular path get the necessary centripetal force from? Where? The tension, isn't it? As you can imagine, nothing is free of cost. There is no output without any input. Obviously, there is no smoke without fire. Okay, there is no result without any action. So the tension of the string which is tied with the stone gives the necessary centripetal force. when we take the turn in vehicle or bicycle or cycle, what does it get the required centripetal force? That is the friction between the tire and the road. Clear? So the source force is always greater because it is supplying something. So the source force has to be greater than the supplied force. If the supplied force is greater than the original, then it may be some risk. That is when we overturn, when we slip or skid. If somebody wants to incline more, it has been seen that while taking U-turn, if we incline so much, then in that case there is always a risk of turnover, that is skidding, that is fall down. Why? Because when we incline so much, the required portion between the tire, the point of contact between the tire and the road becomes very minimal, becomes less, and in that case it is not enough. It cannot supply the necessary centripetal force for taking the U-turn, and then it may lead to turnover. Clear? So this is centripetal force which always acts towards the center. So it has always a tendency, you can see, if you see the curve of the arc, a small arc, clear, it always has a tendency to come inside the center. So that's why it's centripetal. And centrifugal force. Now the force which acts inside, inward. So obviously there will be a reactional force according to Newton's third law, that is every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So a force which makes the object to rotate and gives the tendency to enter inside the to plunge or dive into the center is called centripetal force. Now one thing is that if we throw while rotating the stone, if we just throw the stone, or if the string if it strike up, it means it cut, then what will be the result? The stone will just thrown away along the tangent. Clear? So it means it has a tendency to escape or to fly away or to flee away along the tangent. So a force which is acting towards the center, when a body rotates in a circular path, it has a tendency to enter inside the center, but as well as it also has a tendency to move away from the center, that is along tangent. So from general aspect, it may appear that is this force which has a tendency to act in the outward direction is the reactionary force of centripetal force, but not centrifugal force is not the reactionary force of centripetal force. Why? I will discuss later. So the force which acts outside the radius, that is which acts in the outward direction along radius, that is radially outward direction, and moves and makes the object to move away along the tangent. It is called centrifugal force. So due to centripetal force always acts radially inward direction towards the center, and centrifugal force always acts in the outside direction, that is radially outward direction. And due to this force, a body has a tendency to escape from the circular path. Clear? Because fugal means fugitive, petal means towards, and fugal means to flee, fugitive means to escape. So that's why their property characteristics are already hidden inside their name.